Two new challengers have emerged for the Open Class crown here in 2014, and they'll settle their differences right here on the island tonight. Okay, folks, let's play some championship hockey.
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.
Trib Total Media presents another hockey night on the PIHL network, featuring scholastic hockey in Western Pennsylvania. Hockey Night is brought to you by Trib Total Media and produced by Rubino Productions.
It's a great day for PIHL hockey.
At Trib Total Media, we do things right. We're the watchdogs in our neighborhoods, our region, and around the world. It's our responsibility to ask the right questions and tell every side of every story. We continue to invest in our award-winning reporters and photojournalists so they can bring it all to you. See for yourself, in print or online at triblive.com. The Trib, we do things right. Here.
The new kid on the block comes up against the old guard, one of Western Pennsylvania's longest tenured programs, with the 9th annual Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League Open Cup Championship at stake here before an Olympic-sized crowd at the Olympic Arena at RMU's Island Sports Center in Coriopolis, Pennsylvania. It's the Harbor Creek Huskies and the Baldwin Highlanders here on Trib Total Media Hockey Night on the PIHL Network. Hello, good evening, and welcome. Matt Popchak on board with you once again. The sports junkie, John Penline, in the house for what should be a very exciting night of championship hockey. The Harbor Creek Huskies, established 2010 at least as a PIHL program. Nailers Cup Championship losses in 11 and 12, finally getting over the hump this season with playoff victories over John Marshall, Beaver, and Morgantown. The common thread, especially early in the playoffs, the contributions of the Open Class scoring champion, junior all-star forward Logan Conboy.
Yeah, Logan Conboy, he's got 12 points in these first 3 games of the tournament, 4 goals, 8 assists. Got a lot of penalty minutes as well. He's got 14 of those, but I think this is going to be a great challenge for Harbor Creek to come up against this Baldwin team. I don't think either one of these teams have been challenged nearly as much as we anticipate them being challenged tonight. This is going to be a great matchup all the way around, and no fluke wins here, Matt. They definitely both deserve to be here, and it should be a good game.
Absolutely, and the one X factor offensively perhaps for the Harbor Creek Huskies, who come in with a record of 22-1 overall, is a man who only played in 12 regular season games, believe it or not, but racked up 56 points. He had the highest points per game average in the Open Class this season, Jamie Collins, and he leads the Huskies, in fact, in playoff scoring. Yeah,
he's got 14 points as well. He's got 7 goals, 7 assists, so I mean they're going to look for 8 and 19 a lot on the ice, especially early on. They're going to try to get to this, to this goaltending from Baldwin, and they're going to try to. And it should be a track meet, should be a barn burner. Any cliche you want to use, we anticipate a high-scoring game here.
Paul Markowitz has done a great job cultivating that team. Jim Brown, the new coach at Baldwin, has done a phenomenal job this year equally of teaching unselfish play and self-discipline. The Baldwin Highlanders, a very balanced bunch, coming in with an overall record of 21-1-1, Section 4 champions to answer Harbor Creek's Section 2 title, and the Highlanders posting a decisive victory over Keystone Oaks, followed by victories over Altoona and the number 3 seed, the Hempfield Spartans, in the Northeast Conference Championship. Their captain, Anthony Alamo, with a huge game against the Spartans.
Yeah, he really did. He had 2 goals in that game. It really got him going, and we're going to talk a lot about the D brothers, Brian and Kenny, but Anthony Alamo, the captain of this team, truly the leader. He's got a lot of speed, a lot of skill, and he's going to be the one that they all turn to bring him home.
Both these teams, not a lot of seniors on the roster this year, which just sort of underscores how impressive their play has been here in 2013-2014. The Highlanders have a little bit deeper bench, and they do have the D brothers, and Brian D leads Baldwin in playoff scoring.
Yeah, Brian D, he's got 9 goals, 6 assists, 15 points. He only had 1 goal in the last game, but he hit the post about 3 times. He got robbed 3 or 4 times. Just about any way you could not score a goal, he found a way, and then in the end he closed the game out with a goal to make it 4-0 at the time. And they're definitely going to look at Brian D and really his brother Kenny D, the defenseman. He might be a defenseman, but he's more of a hybrid. He's got a lot of skill, and he's able to skate really well, and boy, oh boy, I really don't want to go up against these two, that's for sure.
Alaimo, 59 points to finish fourth in open class scoring during the regular season. Brian D with 54, including 36 goals. Now, before we introduce the goaltending matchups, let's let Bob Sebastian introduce the lineups.
Three officials. Four.
Introducing the Baldwin Highlanders. Number 38, Matt Yacht. Number 25, Dakota Mack. Number 2, Tyler Bush. Number 18, Mark O'Hanlon. Number 19, Ryan D. Number 26, Dakota Becker. Number 33, Anthony Alaimo. Number 66, Ryan Jordan. Number 84, Kenny D. Number 86, Max Glenn. Number 97, Jake McHugh. Number 98, Zach Winkowski. Number 13, Cody Lepp. Number 17, Paul Canair. Number 42, Don Carlino. And number 88, Brad Maddox. Coached by head coach Jim Brown, assistant coach Craig Albert, and manager Anthony Alaimo. And now introducing the Harbor Three Huskies. Number 30, Tyler Manna. Number 5, Ryan Markowitz. Number 8, Jamie Collins. Number 11, Tony Ignacio. Number 12, Jared Rich. Number 13, Chad Morris. Number 15, Dan Gahn. Number 16, Mitchell Hillhouse. Number 18, Justin DiDionisio. Number 19, Logan Conboy. Number 22, Dylan Beans. Number 28, Nick Manna. Number 43, Tyler Carr. And number 44, Nick Rocco. Huskies are coached by head coach Paul Markowitz. The assistant coach is Dan Morris. The team manager is Kelly Conboy. The officials for tonight's game, linesmen Chris Studebaker and Garrett Carlin. The referees are Caitlin Rhodes and Chet Steen. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise and gentlemen remove your hats and direct your attention to the flags at the end of the arena as we honor America with our national anthem.
Thank you, Bob Sebastian, and thank you, Olympic Arena fans, for indulging Mr. Sebastian as we get ready for the Open Cup Championship game. The Huskies looking for their first PIHL championship as a member of the league, and the Baldwin Highlanders looking for their first major league championship since the 1988 Pennsylvania Cup title. Highlanders also won the Penguins Cup that year. The goaltending matchup, an intriguing one, because if there is an edge in this game, perhaps at least on reputation alone, it would go to Harbor Creek. Tyler Manna, a multiple-time All-Star, and he gets the nod for Harbor Creek against Matt Yock of Baldwin.
Yeah, Tyler Manna was sensational in this game against Morgantown. He comes into this game, he had 62 saves and .939 save percentage in 3 games. On the other side, Matt Yock, he's only given up 1 goal, but he's only had to make 19 saves in the 2 games that he's played. So he hasn't seen a whole lot of action, and if Harbor Creek can get a lot of pressure on him, who knows what could happen.
The Huskies will move the puck from left to right on your computer screen, television screen, or mobile device to begin tonight's game as Justin DiDonicio, the defenseman, pushes it toward the Baldwin blue line. The Highlanders quickly taking over near the officials' crease as Max Milan tries to drop it for Alemo. It comes around the boards and it's played near side by Jamie Collins. Looking up ahead for Logan Conboy. Conboy taken off the puck by Alemo. And Brian D is going to let this one go for the Highlander defense. Intercepted, however, by Conboy. And a setup down low intended for Zach Morris. Morris with a game winner in that conference final game last week. Milan couldn't get there. Alema will, and he scores! A sweet shot where Mama keeps the sugar. And 47 seconds in, the Highlanders are on top.
Well, it was a shot and a great chance. I mean, the opportunity was definitely there, and he cashed in on it. We talked about how, Kenny D and Brian D are kind of the high-flying guys on this team, but, you can always count on the captain, Alemo, and he came up with another big goal there to get him started.
Anthony Alemo, his 5th of the playoffs, and the Highlanders jump on top. Here's Alemo again.
Down to the goal, 47 seconds. Alemo from the land at 47 seconds.
And there you hear the official announcement as the Huskies take this puck over just inside their own blue line and send it up ahead to Nick Rocco. Rocco blazing to the left wing side. He shoots on Matt Yock, and Yock, hugging the post, makes his first official save of the night.
And, I talked about how Yock's only had to make 19 saves in the last 2 games that he's goaltended, but a big reason for that is that his defense, hold on here. Okay, well, his defense is so aggressive at the blue line, they won't let you, they're not going to back up and give you an inch. And we saw that last game, and we'll probably see that today.
Jake McHugh blasted in neutral ice by Tyler Carr. Baldwin bringing it early, and they have a 1-0 lead thanks to their captain. This shot taken by Rocco, deflecting wide. Sent in deep for Zach Morris. Morris trapped in the corner by Zach Winkowski, the Baldwin defenseman. He gets it to the point, however, and this shot taken by Ryan Markowitz goes wide. Huskies with a good forecheck going here, 2 minutes into the hockey game as Collins pressures, but Baldwin takes it over, and they matriculate that puck back to center as McHugh was unable to get it deep. Conboy picks the pocket of a Baldwin forward in the officials' crease and sends it in behind the Highlanders' goal line. It's flipped back to center.
That was a very physical shift by Max Milan, setting the tone right after the goal.
And Milan staying out here for first-year Baldwin head coach Jim Brown as we have an icing call coming up here against his Highlanders with 14:27 to go in the first period.
Well, look, it's 1-0, all right. They gave up the goal early, but Harbor Creek certainly, the game has just begun, and they're starting to control the puck a little bit more. Maybe it'll take them an extra minute or 2 to get their legs, unlike the Baldwin team who came out flying, but looks like they're getting the puck a little bit more and getting some better chances.
Baldwin with 196 goals during the Open Class regular season, the highest scoring team in said classification.
And that's how they win. They possess the puck and they score a lot of goals.
This lead pass deflected off the blade of Collins, so there will be no icing. Kenny D has to move it along, and he turns the puck over to Zach Morris. Morris trying to go out in front to Conboy, couldn't take the pass. This shot pushed just wide of Yock. The Huskies trying to get some momentum going deep in the offensive zone, and they have it again. Collins digging for it. Collins pinned up against the boards by Kenny D. and they center it, and one time it's just wide. Conboy doing the honors there as the puck is loose between the circles. Milan playing it to the boards, and Dom Carlino will get it back to center, and it'll be deflected just wide of Tyler Manna, the Harbor Creek senior. 50-50 battle in the corner, won by the Huskies. And they try to methodically get it outside the zone. They can't. Turnover on the half boards. But Harbor Creek does recover, and they get it up ahead of Collins, who's hit hard by Cody Becker. Collins still onside, but he lost the puck to Milan.
And Becker with just one more big hit. Carlino had one a couple minutes ago. Baldwin just really laying the lumber here in the beginning.
Puck deep in Huskies territory with 4 minutes gone by in the first period. 1-0 Baldwin. Logan Conboy up to center, intended for Rocco. Rocco eventually able to settle down that lead pass before he has his stick lifted by Brian D. D hit by the shoulder of Rocco, but he does get the puck deep for the Highlanders. Huskies go corner to corner as it's sent up by Tony DiDonicio, but not outside the area. Off the glove of Mitch Hillhouse it goes. Highlanders fighting to keep that puck alive in the offensive zone, but they can't. Winkowski has to reset, and he will to Milan. Max Milan, the Baldwin co-captain. Around Dan Gaughan. Drop pass for Brian D, and a good blocker save made there by Manna. To the corner it goes. Back to Winkowski, left point. Shot deflected in on net, and it's loose. Picked up by Tony DiDonicio. Near side it comes now to Tyler Carr. Pass a little too hard. Harbor Creek gripping the sticks maybe a little tight as far as passing is concerned.
Yeah, it's just not quite crisp yet. Even the shots are a little bit, there's a little bit of hesitation there, so something to look at.
Brian D, one-on-one with Collins. Markowitz, I beg your pardon, and Markowitz shoves him off the puck. Backhander in deep, goes wide of Manna. Play to the near side by Mitch Hillhouse, and he gets it back to center. Kenny D retreating to play it for Baldwin. D, with Rocco watching him carefully, will send it up ahead to brother Brian D, and up to Milan. Milan, left wing side. One-on-one against Markowitz. Hard wrister, save made by Manna off the left leg.
Manna recovering nicely after giving up the first goal on the first shot. He's had to make a couple big ones on Brian D.
Brown calling for a change on the fly as the Huskies try to get their transition game going, but a turnover to Kenny D. D on one hand, centering pass. Intended for Tyler Rush, that never came to fruition. And it comes instead to Nick Rocco of Harbor Creek. Flipping it to the half boards for Morris. Morris unable to get it out. Bouncing puck, right wing circle. Highlanders pick it up. Here's Jake McHugh down low. 11 to go in the first period. Highlanders concede the puck, but they have a 1-0 lead on an early goal by Anthony Alamo. Jamie Collins dangling. Collins out in front. Bouncing puck cleared out of there. Good play there by Zach Winkowski. Delayed offside against the Huskies, who do tag up as Winkowski's able to clear the zone. And Harbor Creek will try to reset here with 10.5 to go in the first.
And they're playing on a surface they're not usually familiar with in the Olympic ice. As there's a power play coming up here, but these teams aren't used to playing on Olympic ice every single night, and we've seen a couple of times, a couple neutral zone turnovers on cross ice passes, and just try to keep it simple, try to get some shorter passes in there because of the wider ice, there's a lot more room.
Tony DiDonicio, the guilty party, with 10:21 to go in the first period. And the Baldwin Highlanders are going on the UPMC Sports Medicine power play. But here comes Conboy shorthanded as a stick lifted by Brian D. D around the defense. D on one hand to the goal. Manna was ready for him, but never had to make a save. The Huskies defense took care of the play. Becker shrugs off a check and keeps the play alive in the offensive zone. Under 10 to go in the first period. 1:35 to go in the minor penalty. Becker, shot pass deflected in on Manna, who read it well and made a save along the side of the net. Highlanders from the corner. Here's Brian D. Off a body, still loose and cleared by Markowitz.
And that's a good penalty kill there. Very aggressive, even like I said before, with the wider ice. I mean, there's a lot more room in the offensive zone, but Harbor Creek doesn't care. They're still going to attack the boards if they have to.
Brian D. monitored by one of the Huskies as this puck comes out in front right to Zach Morris, who clears the zone. midway through the UPMC Sports Medicine power play. And approaching the midway point of the first period, Baldwin with a 1-0 lead here in the 2014 Open Cup. Drop pass to Brian D. D trying to get around the defense. Rocco is playing him. Now it comes to the opposite corner for Milan. Up top now to Cody Becker. Becker's shot hard and wide.
And I don't think he ever saw it.
Kenny D in the corner. Out in front to Becker. Becker trying to shot pass. Wrist shot on Mana. Blocked. Drop pass to Brian D. Mana with a quick glove, and he holds on. From the doctor's office to the ice rink, UPMC Sports Medicine supports PIHL athletes throughout the season as the league's official medical sponsor. To learn more, call 1-855-93-SPORT or visit upmcsportsmedicine.com.
And Tyler Mana doing a great job so far, only giving up the 1 goal.
And it was a goal scorer's goal for that matter.
Oh, absolutely.
Alimo with a gorgeous wrist shot from the right side to beat him. And that's all we've had so far as D almost gets one by Mana. He had trouble sort of fighting that puck at the last second. And now the power play over for the Highlanders. And the Huskies will ice this puck, albeit illegally, with 8:15 to go in the first period. Trib Total Media is a proud partner of the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League and a proud sponsor of Trib Total Media Hockey Night on the PIHL Network. Visit them online at triblive.com. Call 1-800-909-TRIB to subscribe. Trib Total Media. Get it right now. Face-off controlled by Nick Mana of Harbor Creek. To the corner it goes. Tony DiDonicio out of the box and fighting for the puck, but he loses this battle to Dom Carlino. Carlino near corner to Winkowski left point. Highlanders playing as though they are still on a UPMC Sports Medicine power play. Huskies trying to break up the cycle, and they finally do as it comes back to center. A little too far for Rocco. And so Paul Nur has to play it in front of his own blue line, and he does go to the right side for Ryan Durant.
And that's another example right there. They didn't, Harbor Creek couldn't even get to the blue line because Baldwin was so aggressive. The one way that they were able to give up a goal against Hempfield was that they dumped the puck in and outskated Baldwin to the net.
Another penalty coming up. The Baldwin bench visibly upset as one of the Highlanders is shaken up on the Huskies, who by and large did a pretty good job staying out of penalty trouble during the regular season, have found themselves shorthanded twice early in this game as the aggrieved player gets medical attention with 7:24 left in the first.
Yeah, this could be more than 2 minutes because Nick Mana seemed like he came out of the parking lot with his arms raised, ready to hit the unsuspecting Carlino. It looks like he's getting on the bench, and he should be good to go, but the Baldwin players might jot down that number for later. But meanwhile, Baldwin's going to go back to the power play.
A UPMC Sports Medicine power play indeed for the second time to the Highlanders, and it is a 2-10. And coming in to serve the minor penalty is Dylan Bemis.
You just can't take penalties like that in a championship game. It's very tough. Emotions might run high, but this is really playing with fire with this Baldwin offense.
It is a misconduct for head contact as opposed to a game misconduct, which is obviously the harsher of the two. Kenny D with it for Baldwin on the UPMC Sports Medicine power play over the line for Brian D. D pulls back beyond the left circle. D penetrating now. D cross ice for Alamo. Save made! Tyler Mana.
Now Mana's been the best penalty killer for Harbor Creek, and typically that's who your best penalty killer is going to be, is your goaltender. But one thing about Baldwin, they're not really getting anybody in front of the net screening. They're standing off to the side. And I think if they're able to get a body in front, it'll make those shots maybe go in a little bit easier.
Off the face-off, the centering pass intended for Brian D was broken up neatly by Nick Rocco, who gets it back to center. Kenny D dumps it deep into the Harbor Creek zone with 6:35 to go in the first period. 1:10 to go on the UPMC Sports Medicine power play for Baldwin, which is 0 for 1 thus far. Highlanders with 7 power play goals through 3 playoff rounds. Brian D trying another shot pass. The Highlanders really favoring that play, but haven't gotten it to click, as clearing the zone for Harbor Creek and erroneously clearing it into the Baldwin bench is Dan Gaughan.
And that got a coach or a trainer hit him right in the leg, so that can't feel good at all. It doesn't really feel good when you get hit in the pads, let alone a bare leg like that, so he might be wearing that one for a little bit. Now the puck was cleared, but there's also a winger coming possibly on a breakaway if they're able to hit that pass.
With all due respect to Jim Brown and his fine staff, that is not Tanner Glass wearing that Baldwin jacket. It's a little bit harder for someone who hasn't done it before. Cody Becker centering, broken up, shot by Alimo, never got through, cleared back to center. Collins sniffing a shorthanded chance, but Doran has none of it. Near side for Becker. Becker wheeling around in the waning moments of the UPMC Sports Medicine power play. Dancing around one of the Huskies, coming over the line and flipping it high over top the Harbor Creek goal. Morris trying to get it outside the zone from his posterior. He can't. Tony DiDonisio also fails as it comes near side to Brian D. That pass broken up by the Huskies, who stack their blue line. And this shot comes in on Mana, who braces and makes an easy save. And this puck finally now sent outside the zone as Convoy tried to dance around one of the Highlanders.
Yeah, just a lot of cross-ice passes. I mean, they're going to read that and break it up. That's exactly what Harbor Creek is doing. And anything that is getting to the net, Tyler Mana can see it all the way. They need a few more screens.
Collins sweeping it just wide of the crease, and a bad giveaway there by the Highlanders deep in their own zone. Harbor Creek nearly tying this game and making them pay. Morris from the half boards couldn't keep it inside the zone. Markowitz will dump it in as the rest of his mates tag up, and this is actually going to be offside against the Huskies, so the faceoff will come back inside Harbor Creek territory with 4:45 to play in the first.
Couple momentum gainers on those penalty kills, but now it's time for Harbor Creek to kind of take over and try to force the issue a little bit more on offense. I thought they had an excellent chance before the second penalty. They started to gain some momentum, so maybe they're able to come out here and get some more scoring chances.
Jake McHugh to take the face-off against Rocco. McHugh wins it, but Rocco blocked the shot. The Highlanders continue to fight for it near corner as it comes loose for Tyler Carr. Carr behind his own goal. Up ahead now for Jared Bretz. Bretz stick checked by Mark O'Hanlon, and Baldwin gets it back to neutral ice. Up ahead now comes O'Hanlon. Couldn't get around Rocco. Rocco near side for Convoy. A correction, DiDonisio, the defenseman. His outlet pass intercepted by Tyler Rush. Rush content to just dump it in. Just over 4 minutes to go in the first period. Anthony Alimo, the only goal of said period, coming just over 45 seconds in to give Baldwin the 1-0 advantage. Markowitz around the boards. Cody Lemp dumping it back in. The team's kind of playing pitch and catch now as the Huskies try to figure out the Baldwin defense. Tyler Carr skating right wing side. Overtaken by Kenny D. And a Murphy dump, a high arching one back to center intended for Nur. He's overtaken by Justin DiDonisio. DiDonisio can go coast to coast, so Baldwin has to be careful here as he dumps this puck in for Tyler Carr. Highlanders have it and they go D to D. Literally, in fact, as Brian D will play it up for Paul Nur.
Reinventing the term, Matt.
Nur on his wallet trying to play this puck. Huskies trying to assert themselves physically here, and they take it over as Rocco comes storming through center. Rocco, right wing side, off the glove of Matt Yuck. Yuck, not a busy man in this first period, and that's a credit to his defense.
He hasn't been a busy man all tournament.
This outlet pass broken up. And a turnover now to Rocco. Centering pass intended for Collins, just a little too hard. Taken over by Convoy. Intended for Rocco. But the Highlanders recover, and they send it into Harbor Creek territory. This puck ricocheting to Nick Rocco. Rocco over the line. Rocco couldn't get around the last wave. Doran stood him up.
Yeah, I think that completely took Rocco off guard there. I think he was still expecting Doran to back up, and like I said, they're very aggressive on the blue line.
He was trying to fake a shot and kind of toe drag it around him, I think, but the Highlanders doing a good job of kind of letting the game come to them.
And in the same regard, that's probably Harbor Creek's best shift so far in this game.
Conboy, far corner. Shrugs off a check. Conboy still in pursuit of this puck. Centering pass, loose. Turnaround try wide of Yock. Collins thought he had him beat. Zach Morris behind the net. Trying to get it to Collins. He can't. Baldwin has it with 1:40 to go in the period. And a long lead pass onside intended for Alimo. He drops it for Milan, but the Huskies are able to clear it. Poke check there by Morris. Harbor Creek sends it to the far corner where it's played by Kenny D. D going down behind his own net as we play on. Brian D with it now near side as Harbor Creek retreats. D flipping it wide of the Huskies' goal where it's played by Markowitz, the Harbor Creek defenseman. Morris letting it go to center. Highlanders take over at their own blue line. D for Alimo. Too much traffic between the circles. And a lead pass intended for Rocco will be covered instead by Matt Yock. 50 ticks to talk in the first period.
Yeah, we look at Rocco. Yeah, he's been the guy that's really generated most of the chances for Harbor Creek. They got him out there right now, number 44 in white at the right side, I should say, the center position. And they're going to try to get a jolt here with 50 seconds to go in the first period.
Rocco to take it, but Milan wins it to the corner. Around the boards intended for Brian D, and D is able to get it outside the zone. Hillhouse immediately trying to dump it back in, and it's overskated and played now by Rocco. Rocco trying to get up ahead of Carr, but he fanned on the pass. Puck still loose in the Baldwin zone, taken over now and neutralized by the Huskies and slapped inside the area by Rocco.
The long-range shots aren't exactly the worst idea in the world because, or isn't exactly the worst idea in the world because, we've seen Matt Yock fight the puck a little bit.
And the Highlanders extend their lead as Milan snatches the cookie from the cookie jar. And Mana is consoled by gone as Baldwin will be gone to their bench in moments with a 2-0 lead here in the Open Cup.
Well, that really came out of nowhere. I mean, Milan was right in front of the net, but just saw the puck come out of the corner. A perfect pass, a great tip in. There was nobody with Max Milan. Nobody picked him up, and just like that, 2-0.
Alimo, his 5th of the playoffs to open the period. Milan, his 5th of the playoffs to close it.
Assisted by number 33, Anthony Alimo.
Kenny D through a crowd. Mana somehow saw that at the last second, and remember that save as the first period comes to a close.
That's what they do. They come out, they possess the puck, and they put in goals, and now Harbor Creek kind of has their work cut out for them. Although there's always that old adage, the worst lead to have is a 2-goal lead, but I'm sure Baldwin will definitely take it.
The least scored upon team during open class regular season play finds itself behind 2-0. The Highlanders lead in shots 9-5. They lead where it counts 2-0. Back with second period action in a moment on Trib Total Media Hockey Night here on the PIHL Network.
I grew up here, and it's really important for me to make sure that I stand up for the people of Western Pennsylvania. The work that we do is not to just go out and win awards or make names for ourselves, but it's to go out and actually do things that are going to make this region better and actually help the people who live here. What's the truth? What's honest? What's accurate? Our job in the newsroom is just to tell these stories honestly and accurately so that readers can take the information and go out and make their own decisions.
The Trib. Get it right. Now.
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.
Trib Total Media presents another hockey night on the PIHL Network, featuring scholastic hockey in Western Pennsylvania. Hockey Night is brought to you by Trib Total Media and produced by Rubino Productions.
It's a great day for PIHL hockey.
The teams reverse sides, and the Harbor Creek Huskies hope they can reverse their fortunes here at the Olympic Arena at the RMU Island Sports Center as they trail the Baldwin Highlanders 2-0. And right off the opening faceoff, Jamie Collins shoots it wide of Matt Yock, the Baldwin goaltender. Matt Popchak, John Penline on board with you here from Coriopolis for the 9th annual championship of the PIHL's Open Classification. As this shot is whizzed wide of the Baldwin keeper. Alimo with it, getting it to the corner. Collins centering out in front. It's still loose and swept aside by one of the Ds. That was Kenny D, I believe. One of the Huskies tripped up, but play continues as it comes back up ahead to Brian D. D taken out of the play immediately, and a great job of hustle there by Justin D. Denisio to get back and break up that play. And a one-timer sticked aside by Mana.
Yeah, and Brian D was kind of all by himself. I don't know if he was basket hanging a little bit, but he ended up being all alone, and great recovery speed there by the defense to deny him from getting a breakaway.
Becker to Milan. Highlanders put it off Mana. Puck on the side of the net, and they score! Thank you, sir. May I have another? Anthony Alimo makes it 3-0 Baldwin with 15:50 to go to the ice cut.
And Alimo was trying to center that. The original shot went off the side of the cage, and he tried to center it. It actually deflected, I believe, off of the defenseman in front and in the net. So to go with all their hard work, they got a little bit of luck as well. And just like that, it's 3-0, 2 goals within 2 minutes for this Baldwin team.
And when you work hard, those bounces inevitably seem to go your way.
You create your own luck, absolutely.
The goal is second of the game, scored by number 33, Anthony Alimo. Assisted by number 19, Ryan D. On the goal, 110. Alimo is second from D at 110.
And a tither inside the Highlander zone between Doran and one of the Huskies. It appeared to be Dan Gaughan, as Baldwin has opened a 3-0 lead early here in period 2 of the Open Cup Championship, and we're going to get coincidental penalties, so this should remain 5-on-5. A trip on the Baldwin side and a slash on the Harbor Creek side.
Yeah, just some frustrations boiling over, I think, for the team in white from Harbor Creek. And really, that's all you can really say about it.
Alimo with goals 5 and 6 of the postseason, sandwiching Milan's 5th. And that is the mountain that the Huskies have to climb. Yock having trouble playing this puck as this USA hockey crew makes it a moot point. The Huskies were offside.
Yeah, it's really surprising that they gave up the goal, because Harbor Creek came out flying in the second period. I mean, they had a couple of close chances there, and they just couldn't cash them in. And then all of a sudden, Baldwin comes down the other end. They score on a bad break, really.
Becker taking the face-off against Rocco. Rocco wins it, but he lost it to Nur. Nur keeping it inside the area to the corner for Becker. Becker cross ice, broken up by Tony Di Denisio and played near side by the Huskies blue liner. Lead pass intended for Carr. Carr trying to get around the Baldwin defense. He does, but he forgot the puck. Hard hit there on Winkowski, and Winkowski not getting up. Harbor Creek fans lining up behind the Baldwin goal, meeting this referee with hostility. And it looks like we may get another hit from behind penalty here to complement the earlier one we saw on Nick Mana.
Yeah, from here it definitely looked like the numbers were showing. I mean, you could read every stitch.
And Paul Markowitz wants to know why, though.
Well, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, maybe the defenseman turned at the last second, but at any rate, you could definitely see the numbers as he went into the glass.
I think what made Harbor Creek fans upset is because, and now Dylan Bemis is going off to serve the minor penalty. Kenny D denied by Tyler Manna as a third UPMC Sports Medicine power play is reaped by the Highlanders.
That was a great save by Tyler Manna. I mean, for giving up 3 goals, he's been playing pretty well, I would say. And just a great save there.
And this is a Harbor Creek team that has excelled in just about every phase of the game coming in, including goaltending, thanks to the play of their senior. But the Highlanders' aggressive attack, I think, has really caught them off guard here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just so much speed. And I thought if any team could kind of hang in there with that type of speed and skill, it would be Harbor Creek. And they've done a pretty good job, but...
Lead pass. Alimo putting it just wide. He had Manna leaning the wrong way. 1:10 to go in the 2 and 10. The front end of the 2 and 10 at any rate. And Kenny D tries to kick this puck to himself as he is buttressed by Logan Conboy. Brian D, score! Or is it a goal?
I don't think so. I think that went off the shoulder and landed behind the net.
Wow.
Had me fooled as well.
That is one of the strangest bounces I have seen in a PIHL game this season. That went right off Manna, and it looked from our vantage point like it stuck inside the net, but it took the turn of the magic bullet, if you will, and just kind of landed there on the twine. That's incredible.
Well, I think what got me is it just died like a stone in the water, you know, and it landed right on the netting. You'd think it would maybe hit some things on the way down, but no goal.
The Huskies will take it. It's one of the few friendly bounces they have gotten in this hockey game thus far, and it could be an important one if Harbor Creek can come back, and they might have a chance to, as now the Huskies will get an abbreviated UPMC Sports Medicine power play as we have a tripping call behind the play on Max Milan. From the doctor's office to the ice rink, UPMC Sports Medicine supports PIHL athletes throughout the season as the official medical sponsor of the league. To learn more, call 1-855-93-SPORT or visit upmcsportsmedicine.com.
And this is definitely a golden opportunity here for Harbor Creek to get back in this game.
Alimo, 4-on-4, couldn't get around the last wave. Hillhouse was right there with him, and the Harbor Creek co-captain is hit from behind. Another penalty coming up. This one's going to go against Kenny D for boarding. And the Huskies are going to have a 2-man advantage.
And that one's pretty obvious. We got a front row seat of that one, and this game's getting pretty ugly.
A needless penalty really to take by the taller of the two Ds with your team up 3-0. And already you have men in the box and a lot more open ice on a rink that has so much of it. And we're getting a 2 and 10 here against Kenny D. So Baldwin deprived of one of its top weapons on both ends of the ice for an extended period of time. And let's see if Harbor Creek can use this as a turning point.
And pretty soon they're going to have to use the regular bench as the penalty box.
It's becoming like Studio 54. It's the place to be here in the second period with 13-14 remaining.
I think one bad joke for each person's good enough. What do you think?
The faceoff will come to the right of Highlanders goaltender Matt Yawk. It is a 4-on-3 for 22 seconds. Then it will be a 5-on-3 UPMC Sports Medicine power play favoring the Harbor Creek Huskies. Late substitutions from Markowitz. Right before the faceoff, Collins is going to take it for Harbor Creek against the other D, Brian D.
They're calling for attention. Medical.
And somebody wants medical attention apparently because the medic is stepping back onto the ice here at the Olympic Arena. Face-off comes outside the zone.
And I believe it's to Logan Conboy because his hand is bleeding.
And that is not a good sign for the Huskies. Markowitz trying to go cross ice to Rocco. His shot blocked. He had trouble controlling that puck, and a good clear there by Brian D. A minute 15 of 2-man power play here for Harbor Creek, trailing 3-0 with 12:45 to go in the second. Markowitz faking, shooting, scoring! Cracked that goose egg, baby. Ryan Markowitz nuzzles the nylon, and the Huskies are not beaten yet. It's 3-1 with 12:41 to play to the ice cut. A power play goal, Harbor Creek's 10th of the postseason.
What a shot, and way to use the defenseman as a screen, faking the slap shot, and that comes, hey, you're planting the seed early on. All those wide angle shots, all those slap shots that Harbor Creek was throwing at Matt Yock, and then the fake, and then the curl drag, and 5-hole, just like that, it's 3-1.
Ryan Markowitz, the defenseman. Now each team has had a defenseman get into the offensive act. Markowitz, his first goal of the Open Class playoffs. And the Huskies have a little life. Rocco in deep. It's now a conventional power play for the Huskies. Hard slapper, wide of Yock. Call inside the net, save made by Yock. Rebound. Alamo can't clear it. DiDonisio shooting, save made, rebound. Alamo trying to clear again, he can't. Good traffic jam there by the Huskies, but it's finally tapped outside the area by Alamo, and he leads it for Brian D. D diving at that puck, but the pass was just a little too far. Huskies have to be careful here. They don't want all that hard work to be undone in a matter of moments. 45 to go on the UPMC Sports Medicine power play. 12 to go in the period. Harbor Creek has cut the deficit to 3-1 as Rocco comes over the line on the off wing. Rocco from the corner, looking for a man to set up at the left point. That was Markowitz, the goal scorer, but he's too well covered. Collins fighting for it. Collins on his backhand out in front. It's blocked and cleared. Collins was trying to do just a little too much there.
Yeah, a little bit too much, trying to get a little fancy. I think it's more about gaining the zone and then maybe setting up some of those point shots.
Collins coming back in earnest. He shoots. Deflected wide of Yock. Rebound side of the net. Oh, that took a Baldwin bounce. Collins still fighting for it. Waning moments of the man advantage, but Alamo's going to clear it. Then again, Rocco, well, he had other ideas, but the puck deflects into the Harbor Creek bench. So Harbor Creek does score on special teams, but Baldwin is able to mitigate the damage, and we're back to 5-on-5 with 11:12 to play in the second.
And you're hoping it'll tone down a little bit as far as the physical side, although I doubt it.
In a championship game, it never does. It never does. Becker, content to get it to the Harbor Creek blue line. And that's as far as it'll go before Tony DiDonisio plays it to his defensive partner, Justin DiDonisio. Highlanders trying to enter the zone. Well, Becker comes up with a turnover, and on his belly, he gets it to the corner for Mark O'Hanlon. O'Hanlon spying the play. O'Hanlon dropping for Becker. Becker off a body and right up ahead of Tyler Carr. Carr with a little bit of space. Carr through the defense. Carr couldn't get a shot on goal. Good work there by Winkowski to stand up his man. Rocco couldn't dangle around Milan. Milan, the big defenseman, into the Husky zone. Trying to get around Rocco. He still has that puck as the Huskies play it behind their own goal line. 10:20 to go till the ice cut. 3-1 Baldwin. To the point, it comes to Becker. Becker, half boards to O'Hanlon. O'Hanlon trying to go back to Cody Becker. And an errant pass there is intercepted by DiDonisio. Correction, that's Dan Gahn firing it from long range into the glove hand of Matt Yock.
Yeah, possible 2-on-1 developing. Tyler Carr, though, a little bit late to the party, and a safe shot on goal. Matt Yock is probably going to stop that 10 times out of 10, but at the very least, it does give you an offensive zone face-off, and looks like Harbor Creek looking to cut into this lead a little bit more, make it 3-2.
And the right thing to do in hindsight at the end of the shift, as Markowitz immediately called for a line change after the whistle. So fresh players on now for Harbor Creek offensively. Conboy takes it. Baldwin wins it, but they can't get it out. Hard slapper deflects off a Highlanders stick and in behind the Baldwin goal line. It squirts free to Becker now, and Becker dances around Collins and comes to neutral ice, leading it for Brian D. D gets it deep. Markowitz playing it. Near side now for Nick Manna. Manna set free after that earlier 2-10 penalty for a hit from behind as Yock makes another long-range stop.
Another offensive zone face-off, so they're going to try to set this up any way they can. I still would like to see Harbor Creek get a couple more shorter passes instead of going so much long cross ice.
Collins tried a turnaround shot that misfired, and here comes Brian D with the breakaway. D to the goal. Score! Brian D! Pimp that ride! And that's a tough goal to give up for Harbor Creek with 9:28 to go in the second.
Oh my goodness, what a shot. He almost blasted the water bottle out of the building. D has been trying to get that breakaway to work really all game, and he's able to get the pass and without even looking behind him, able to just go with the puck and then just blast it right past Tyler Manna. The goaltender had no chance on that.
The Baldwin goal scored by number 19, Ryan D. Number goal 732, D.
His open class leading 10th goal of the playoffs. Yock doesn't know where this puck is, as the Huskies think they've scored as it's loose under Yock and swatted at and airborne now for Tony DiDonicio and muscled outside the zone by the goal scorer Brian D. What a strange sequence there in front of the Baldwin goal.
Yeah, DiDonicio, had he let it go, it would have been called for a high stick, but obviously he had no way of knowing that at the time.
Becker midway through this hockey game. 4-1 Baldwin. Brian D. beating Tyler Manna cleanly on a breakaway. Rocco from a bad angle. And this one's held by Yock. And the Huskies, sort of a theme of this game, John, being forced to take a lot of low percentage shots.
Yeah, and again, it's a product of having to play against a defense that's fast and it's also very aggressive. So if you try to dump it and go behind them, which I've been suggesting, they're still going to, possibly outskate you to the puck. You don't really have a whole lot of room out there.
Convoy, and for that matter, Harbor Creek, as we know, keeps a short bench. So you want to keep your players, all of them, as fresh as possible. Near corner now. It's settled down by Dom Carlino. Carlino to the corner. It's worked up to Nur, but the Huskies take it over. Hard shot. Yock with the glove save. Was that Collins crashing the party?
And that's really salt in the wound there for Harbor Creek. I mean, Matt Yock, he's been fighting the puck a little bit all tournament. He's been good when they've needed him to be. And just when you think that Harbor Creek can get back in this game, maybe cut the deficit in half, right there is Yock with the glove save. What a great save.
And a face-off win to follow. And let's not overlook the support that his defense has given him. Great goaltenders can't be great without great defense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the defense has been great all tournament. And but you know what? A little bit of a breakdown there, and Yock is there for the save. So, I mean, that's what you need out of a championship-type team, and they're not that far away if they can hold on.
They are just under 25 minutes hockey time away from winning their first major championship in over 25 years. O'Hanlon with a steal. D. Brian D, that is, pulling back from the corner, centering it, saved by Manna on Alimo, looking for the HT. Alimo trying to get a friendly bounce there as Manna makes a kick save again from the high slot area on O'Hanlon. Centering pass intended for D, broken up, but not outside the zone. D, slapper, wide. Around the boards it comes. Highlanders with an incredible forecheck here in this hockey game. The Huskies chasing this puck again as Hillhouse, perhaps in frustration, slaps it around the boards, and Harbor Creek gets a break there as Baldwin put it beyond its own bench.
And they really have to do a better job of marking Brian D, because he's going to try to find those soft zones in coverage. He's been pretty good at doing that so far in this game, and I don't know if I want anybody other than him taking a one-timer if I'm Baldwin.
O'Hanlon off the draw from just inside the line. He fires it wide of the Huskies' net. Brian D. able to get it around Zach Morris. D again from the far corner. Spinning in the left circle and puts it wide of the Huskies' net one more time. Doran to the near corner now. Harbor Creek stymied a bit here, and finally they get it back to center. And played now for Morris. Morris up ahead of Conboy. Conboy taking off the puck, and that one just kind of died in front of Matt Yock, and Baldwin sends it outside the zone. Huskies reading the lead pass, and they send it back into Baldwin territory with 6:20 to go to the ice cut, and a steal, and Morris putting it just wide to the crossbar. He had the corner picked, he just didn't hit it. O'Hanlon gets penetration and dumps it in as Jim Brown makes a line change. Long pass now for Logan Conboy. Conboy with a little room, but a good job by Becker to get back and cut him off. Backhander now by Morris as he swats it from close range. Yock with a great save, side of the net. Harbor Creek very nearly getting a bounce there. Huskies from the half boards. It comes to Markowitz. Markowitz dangling. Markowitz shooting. It's blocked, and it comes back to the center circle. Justin DiDonicio between his legs, retreating. Conboy from the officials' crease as one of the Baldwin blue liners fell down. Becker behind his own goal line, just trying to slow things down and get it outside the zone. He can, as Rocco was there to take it away. Harbor Creek with some offensive zone time here as the second period winds down, trailing 4-1. Markowitz through a crowd. Oh, Yock made an unconscious save there.
Well, he would definitely have been unconscious had he not had the mask on, because the puck hit him dead square in the face. And yeah, well, I mean, what a great stop there. He didn't even see it, but he's been pretty sharp here in these last couple of minutes, and Harbor Creek is coming on pretty strong.
And you remember seeing some of those old-time hockey videos and seeing the war stories of those goaltenders who used to play without masks, because some of them took pucks to the head, and you wonder, how do they live, let alone play again?
Yeah, just look up Terry Sawchuk.
Exactly. Loose in front of Yock. Play to the boards by the Baldwin defense. Turnaround try through a crowd. Still loose. Near side it comes now. And Rush tries to get it outside the zone. He can't. Harbor Creek still pressing here with time winding down in the second period. But the Highlanders recover, and Becker is going to lead it for Milan. Milan knocked down at center ice. Highlander fans wanted a penalty. Nothing doing. Milan comes up with a turnover, though, and he has it now for Baldwin deep in the Harbor Creek zone. Milan near corner. Knocked off the puck for a moment by Tony DiDonicio, but keeps on keeping on to Rush. Rush out in front, trying to put it through Mana's legs as he was cheating to the opposite post. Not to be. Lead pass a little too far for Rocco. Taken now by Carr. And Carr with it again now for Harbor Creek. Carr trying to dangle around the defense, but he can't. Good stand-up maneuver there by Cody Lemp. Huskies have to reset now with under 4 to go to the ice cut. Trailing 4-1. Lemp from deep in his own end. Oh, a callous pass there, but it takes a friendly bounce up to Paul Nur. Nur, right wing side. Nur shooting on Mana. Easy save there for the All-Star with 3:45 to go. Trib Total Media is a proud partner of the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League and a proud sponsor of Trib Total Media Hockey Night on the PIHL Network. Visit them online at triblive.com or call 1-800-909-TRIB to subscribe. Trib Total Media, get it right now. Huskies win the draw and they clear. Up ahead it comes for Morris. Morris around one man, that's Doran. Try to center it for Collins. The pass broken up though by Baldwin. Doran meanwhile paying the price as he ices this puck. And so Harbor Creek will get an offensive zone faceoff with 3:26 left in the second.
And even though he paid a little bit of a price, he could have paid a lot more had he not dodged that check. That was a freight train coming in his direction.
The Huskies trying to do anything they can to tilt the ice or sway the momentum of this game somehow after getting back into it and then falling back behind by 3 goals thanks to Brian D. Yock plays it to his right. Doran trapped by Conboy. Sends it to the half boards. Up ahead it comes now to Milan. Milan, cross ice, D, one-timer, broke his stick. Milan had his pocket picked behind the Harbor Creek goal line. Bouncing puck, intercepted by the Highlanders. D kicks it to himself, has a new blade and stays on to complete the shift. But Harbor Creek has it now. Justin DiDonisio gathering momentum. DiDonisio over the line. He shoots wide of Yock. Morris from the half boards to the corner. Behind the goal it goes. And up to Brian D. D blasted as the puck comes back to neutral ice. Collins takes the lead pass. Collins shooting. Glove save, Yock. The rebound comes behind the Highlanders' goal and is sent out of play.
Yeah, Matt Yock, I mean, I know that Brian D had the goal to make it 4-1. I know that they scored 2 early in this period, but I'd have to say that Matt Yock has been the best player in this second period because Harbor Creek has not gone away. In fact, they've probably controlled play for the most part over these last couple of minutes, and Yock's been there at every step.
A .950 playoff save percentage coming in for Matt Yock, and a lot of times that's a real true barometer, of a goaltender. It's what do you do when the puck actually gets through and your defense doesn't make a play, and Yock's been there when it's counted. Becker over the line for the Highlanders, dropping to Mark O'Hanlon. O'Hanlon taken over, but the Highlanders still have it. Good stick-to-itiveness there by Tyler Rush. Rush fighting between the circles. Milan with a blast. Mana just got a piece of it at the last moment. Milan keeps it inside the zone, and he's hit hard up high by Dan Gaughan. A friendly Harbor Creek roll around the boards, and Baldwin must reset with 1.5 minutes to go to the ice cut. Milan over the line. Rister, Mana fought it off, and the Huskies control the rebound. Milan creating a takeaway. Milan with some crafty hands there. And the Highlanders get another opportunity as this shot is blocked. Good gap control there by Gaughan of Harbor Creek. A turnover to Becker. Becker trying to penetrate the left circle. He can't. And Gaughan takes it over in the final minute of the period. Huskies trying to get an odd man rush the other way. They can't. Here's Milan. But O'Hanlon was offside.
Well, 57.9 seconds to go, and at the end of the first period, we were wondering if Harbor Creek could get a goal late, and instead it ended up going to Baldwin. So, you know, 3-goal deficit's pretty tough to come back against, but if you're able to get one here, you at least head into the intermission knowing you're in a very manageable position.
Off the face-off, it comes to Ryan Markowitz, the lone Harbor Creek goal-getter, and it's sent all the way back to the officials' crease where the Highlanders dump it right back in. Markowitz behind his own goaltender Tyler Mana. Over to his defensive partner Hillhouse. Hillhouse knocked down behind the goal line with 35 to go in the period. Centering pass for D. He scores! A premature chapeau is broken out as Brian D celebrates his second goal of the night and 11th of the postseason. And one of the premier goaltenders in the PIHL has really had to swallow his pride here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Brian D has been a force all tournament. It's tough for Jamie Collins to watch, but I mean, what else can you say? Brian D is just unstoppable right now.
The Baldwin goal, his second of the game, scored by number 19, Ryan D.
That shot by Conboy put wide. Harbor Creek still pressing. Carlino taken over by Conboy. 8 seconds left in the period. Kennedy with it now, coming over the line. His slapper missed everything and everybody. And some of the Baldwin fans off to our right get a souvenir puck.
And what was it again, Matt? It was another late period goal. We were talking about trying to get Harbor Creek back in the game with a late period goal, and again, Baldwin snatches away that momentum, and they're off and running, and you know, maybe now they're just counting down the minutes.
Well, the Highlanders have excelled at one thing, destroying my second period analysis before the words can leave my mouth, because as the second period ends, you're thinking at 4-1, as trite as it is to say next goal wins, if you're Harbor Creek and you make it 4-2, especially early in the third period, you certainly have a hope. But if Baldwin gets that next goal and makes it a 4-goal deficit, you're probably in over your head.
Yeah, absolutely, and this team has thrown everything that they could at Baldwin right now, and it's just tough sledding. I mean, they've had some bad breaks, but obviously Baldwin's playing extremely well, and Brian D has been quite the force here through the first 34 minutes.
Captain Anthony Alimo and Brian D., the latter, the open class playoff scoring leader, really rising to the occasion again here for the Baldwin Highlanders, who are 1 period away from erasing a long, long championship drought. Highlanders 5, Harbor Creek Huskies 1. With John Penline, Matt Popchalk on board with you here from the Olympic Arena at the RMU Island Sports Center in Coriopolis, Pennsylvania. We'll have our scoring summary and third period action on Trib Total Media Hockey Night next on the PIHL Network.
At Trib Total Media, we're relentless in seeking and reporting the truth. We ask the tough questions and never give up until we uncover the complete story, and then report it to you, accurately. Sure, we lean to the right with our editorial opinions, but when it comes to hard news, we're right down the middle. The Trib. Conservative views, objective news. Get it right. Now.
It's a PIHL Hockey Night in Pittsburgh.
Trib Total Media presents another hockey night on the PIHL Network, featuring scholastic hockey in Western Pennsylvania. Hockey Night is brought to you by Trib Total Media and produced by Rubino Productions.
It's a great day for PIHL hockey.
The Baldwin Highlanders perhaps taking a couple extra moments to savor the final game of the open class portion of the PIHL season. And the Harbor Creek Huskies don't want theirs to end on a sour note as they trail the Baldwin Highlanders by a score of 5-1 in a battle of number 1 seeds and a battle of Southwest Harbor Creek versus Northeast Baldwin. And the Highlanders, who lead in the shot column 23-15, jumped all over the Huskies early in this game, John Penline, and Harbor Creek just hasn't been able to recover.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Anthony Alimo got us started with a goal 47 seconds in. Found a pass from Max Millan, and right from the right wing circle, able to roof one past Tyler Manna, and then Max Millan got the next goal late in the period, 16:45 into the first to make it 2-0. Anthony Alimo again 1:10 into the second. Ryan Margovitz was able to score 3 minutes later to cut the lead to 3-1. But then Brian D. back-to-back goals to basically put this one what would seem out of reach, although with 17 minutes and especially at this level, who knows? I mean, we could see it come back, but right now it's been all, at least on the scoreboard, it's been all Baldwin.
Early period goals, as you said, John, and late period goals, they're both a doozy, and they both can make a game for the team that scores them and really break the will of a team that yields them. And the Huskies have much to adjust as they enter period 3. What would you adjust?
Well, the first thing I would do is I would bunch the defensive side a little bit more. You know, if you're Harbor Creek, you have to notice that Baldwin isn't really taking any shots from the point. A lot of these shots are coming on cross-ice passes. They're coming from in front of the net. I would collapse down a little bit and take away those lanes, especially when you're talking about Olympic ice that's a little bit wider, a little bit bigger. And I would definitely try to take away Brian D. as best you can by not letting the puck get to him, because once it gets to him, as we found out so far, it usually ends up in the back of the net.
And we are underway, and the Huskies off the draw try to get something going early here in the third period as Kenny D sweeps this puck away in front of his goaltender, Matt Yock. And Yock has been, again, well insulated by his defense, but has also made some nice saves in the process. Brian D with a pretty little toe drag. He shoots right into the crest of Tyler Manna, and he holds 31 seconds into the period.
Yeah, Logan Conboy wanted an offsides on that, and I don't blame him. It looked like the puck may have crossed the blue line, but at that kind of speed, it's really difficult to tell. So, but, you know, I mean, either way, as far as the offensive side goes for Harbor Creek, I would chip the puck in and just try to get bodies on the defense and force some turnovers, because this Baldwin defense has been good, but they haven't been perfect. I would definitely try to force as many turnovers as possible and get pucks in front of the net.
Kenny D flipping it up, trying to Milan. High stick on the puck is negated by Brian D as he brings it ahead for the Highlanders. D 1-on-2 to the corner, to the goal line, and now into the boards as the puck comes loose. But Milan was there to play it before Justin DiDonisio got it outside the zone. Milan penetrating again around one man, but lost the puck. Markowitz trying to flip it up ahead to Gaughan. That pass a little too far. Becker retreating as Gaughan got trapped against the boards and splintered his stick. And he's calling for a new one as the Huskies keep it inside the zone. Good pinch there by Hillhouse as it's Murphy dumped back to center. Rocco there trying to dangle around the defense. He can't. Brian D, who's having a phenomenal game at both ends of the ice, stands him up. Near side again, here's Rocco. Milan on him. Jake McHugh fighting for this puck as well, and McHugh has it and sends it deep into the Harbor Creek zone. Funny bounce there in front of Mana, and that almost resulted in a sixth Baldwin goal, which really would have been a dagger.
Well, and the puck has been bouncing all over the place. I don't think it's frozen, and that's definitely given problems for both teams.
And again, they are playing on a different sheet of ice than originally scheduled, the Olympic Arena, as opposed to the primary rink in this building, the 84 Lumber Arena, which we will see for the Penguins Cup semifinals next week. And you wonder if it's a factor, but again, as you said, both teams have to put up with it, so neither's going to use it as an excuse as this puck goes out of play.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different dynamic, and we saw in the Olympics, wider ice doesn't necessarily mean higher scoring. We saw just the opposite of that a couple weeks ago, but I think for teams that aren't used to playing on this venue, it can be a little bit overwhelming, and I think given the speed of Baldwin, they've been able to adjust a little bit better here tonight.
Doran sends a bouncing puck just outside the Baldwin zone. Delayed offside is washed out. Doran playing it dangerously in front of his goaltender as Collins was going for a pick. Collins with it now, trying to get around Cody Becker. He can't. Huskies trying to reset as Collins has this puck again near side. 1-on-2. Jamie Collins to the corner. Collins behind the net now. Fought off by Carlino. To the point it comes to DiDonisio for Collins. Collins couldn't keep it inside the zone, and Baldwin gets it up to Cody Becker. Becker sets it up for Kinnear. Kinnear, score! Paul Kinnear, and the Huskies' championship hopes might have just went kaboom.
Great puck movement. Started with the defense at one side of the ice. Dakota Becker able to strip the puck away from DiDonisio and then come back the other way, lay a nice soft pass, not to Kinnear, but in open ice where Kinnear could only get to it. And just like that, it's in the back of the net.
The Baldwin goal scored by number 17, Paul Kinnear. Assisted by number 26, Dakota Becker.
Cody Becker, who was for a long time one of the Open Class's leading scorers before he missed a handful of games, picks up another point, and what a great season he's had for Baldwin as well. Kenny D over the line. And now the rest of this third period, which has 13 minutes to play, might just be a formality. Neither of these teams has won an Open Cup championship. Baldwin, which just moved to the Open Class not long ago, in command 6-1 here with 12:45 left in regulation.
Yeah, a little how do you do move there. I'm not sure what that was all about.
In any event, it comes deep into Harbor Creek territory where Hillhouse will play it. Hillhouse surveying the play and sending it near side to Tyler Carr. Carr, long lead pass for Rocco. Rocco can't get around Kenny D. Cody Lemp sends it off the dasher and back to center. Near side it comes, intended for Carr. Carr catches up to it, and he is bumped hard and bumped up high by Kenny D. Jake McHugh for Rush. And O'Hanlon could not take that lead pass. Justin DiDonicio ahead now for Nick Rocco. Rocco couldn't get around the poke check of Rush, who reached back at the last moment, not just to break up what would have been a clear path to the net, but to create an offside play on the Huskies.
And Rocco actually had Jamie Collins wide open on the other side of the blue line. Had he looked up a little bit and seen that, he might have had Collins on a breakaway. I think that's part of the problem. I mean, or I shouldn't say problem because it's working, but with Baldwin's defense, they are surrounding the puck carrier, almost ignoring any other person on the ice because they know that they can get to the puck and get it out of harm's way in a hurry.
The ice is white, but it's like for Harbor Creek, everywhere they look, they see black. Just a Baldwin jersey everywhere. Every time the Huskies try to get something going offensively. Here come the Highlanders again as Mana covers. Brian D looking for you-know-what, harassed on his way to the net. Will we get a penalty? I did not see a raised arm by any official, but now they have time to confer.
I tell you what, if Brian D would have scored on that, I would have dropped the mic and walked out because I would have seen everything. That would have been right up there with Ovechkin's rookie year goal against Phoenix. But no, it does not look like it'll be a penalty. I think they just got tangled up. I don't know if you could really call a trip there.
Not to bring up a sore spot with Penguin fans, but the Jaromir Jagr goal against Philadelphia when he slid toward the net and scored from his backside. Another similar play. Not sure I'll ever forget that Ovechkin one, though. You're right.
That's one for the ages.
Milan over the line for the Highlanders. Cross-ice pass intended for Lamo. The Baldwin captain can't catch up to it. Harbor Creek clears the zone, and a nice pass here for Logan Conboy. Jamie Collins on his feet to the net. Backhander save made by Yock. He denied DiDonicio, and I don't know how.
Salt in the wound, Matt. Salt in the wound.
And here comes Milan in transition, one-on-one. Milan trying to get around Markowitz. He can't, but it's loose to Alamo, who puts it wide. 10:35 to go in the third period, and by inches, it remains 6-1 Highlanders. Baldwin not taking its collective foot off the accelerator as the Huskies are forced to ice it with 10:25 to play in the third. Trib Total Media is a proud partner of the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League and a proud sponsor of Trib Total Media Hockey Night here on the PIHL Network. Visit them online at triblive.com. Call 1-800-909-TRIB to subscribe. Trib Total Media, get it right now.
Yeah, we've been saying it all night. Matt Yock has been good when he's had to be. Only giving up that one goal and gave it up on a 5-on-3, so he's been just as important as Brian D in this tournament and pretty much everybody else. A true team effort from this Baldwin team all tournament.
Their depth has been very, very impressive. And it has been on display here this evening in this 9th annual Open Cup Championship. The Baldwin Highlanders under first-year coach Jim Brown trying to make some history against Paul Markowitz's Harbor Creek Huskies, and they're on the verge of it right now with 9:50 to go in the third. Rocco with a steal to the corner. Cody Becker getting in the way, but Rocco has it out in front. One-timer, and it slipped off the stick of Tyler Carr at the last moment, and then one of the Highlanders got his stick in the lane, which is the story of the night.
Yeah, it was Cody Lemp. He got out there, blocked it with the heel of his stick. Looked like a wide-open net, and it just closed on him.
And Lemp, meanwhile, tried to decapitate his man as the Highlanders were trying to complete a partial line change. Baldwin now brings it outside their own zone. Kenny D up ahead for Marco Hanlon. Far side it comes for Ryan Markowitz. Baldwin has it though. Hard shot, score! McHugh, corner pocket. Game, set, and perhaps match to the Baldwin Highlanders with 9 minutes to go.
Well, they've bookended some of the periods with goals, and This one, it seems to bookend the style. The first goal went in almost the exact location as this last one. The only difference was it was a slap shot, not a wrist shot, but maybe a game to forget, definitely for Tyler Manna. But for the team in black and purple, they're counting down the seconds now to the championship.
Number 97, Jake McHugh. The goal, 7:59.
Penalty coming up meanwhile as Milan tackles one of the Huskies, and Logan Conboy, for multiple reasons, is livid right now with 8:47 to go in the third period. Harbor Creek about to go on a UPMC Sports Medicine power play on which they have already cashed in once, but too little, too late.
Yeah, that's the problem. You get some of these games, they're high scoring, it's very one-sided, and a lot of frustrations boil over. And I mean, if you're Baldwin, you don't really want to see that, because even if you take the penalty, what are you going to do, lose the game? But at the same time, I mean, what can you do? You just can't give up 7 goals in a game, or else you're going to run into this situation.
It appears to be actually Duran, 66, not Milan. And it is Ryan Dorn, not Max Milan, as I indeed stand corrected, who takes the minor penalty.
Baldwin penalty number 66, Ryan Dorn. 2 minutes per line. Time of the penalty.
There's the official call from PA announcer Bob Sebastian. Huskies on the UPMC Sports Medicine power play, but we get a whistle and another stoppage as the net is dislodged.
Well, I think Logan Conboy might get a penalty for being in the crease because he was battling with goaltender Matt Yock. It might not be a penalty, but the referee's definitely talking to him about it because he was, I mean, there's being in the crease and there's going through the goalie's pockets, and I think he was doing the latter.
They called a crease violation, I believe, which calls for the face-off outside the offensive zone. Huskies with it, and a difficult save there by Yock as Markowitz was looking for a second. Midway through the third period, a minute 35 to go on the UPMC Sports Power Play. 7-1 Highlanders, and the puck out of play. Faceoff will remain in the Baldwin zone. During every athletic season, UPMC Sports Medicine treats more student athletes than any other sports medicine provider in the region. To learn more about how they can help you recover from injury and reach your peak performance, call 1-855-93-SPORT or visit upmcsportsmedicine.com. Steal by Milan. Milan shorthanded. Stopped by Manna. Huskies break it out. Collins taken over by Kenny D. D with a chance now, perhaps shorthanded. But Markowitz catches up. Milan in on goal. Manna covering. Long enough for a face-off, even though the puck sprung loose. 1:06 to go in the 5-on-4 for the Huskies. Kenny D, brother of Brian D, who will conclude upon a phenomenal postseason performance with a championship here this evening. And again, both these teams very, very young. Only a handful of seniors collectively between the two clubs. So we've not seen the last of the Baldwin Highlanders, I don't suspect, and we've not seen the last of the Harbor Creek Huskies either.
And there's a nice little rivalry building here in this game, that's for sure.
Perhaps for many more Open Cups to come. This one, all over but the shouting, and in about 7 minutes, there's going to be plenty of that off to our right. Rocco, score! Another UPMC Sports Medicine power play goal, as Nick Rocco nuzzles that nylon for the 4th time in the playoffs. 7-2 Baldwin.
Well, obviously, too little too late, but Nick Rocco, he's had a great tournament. It'll be goal number 4, I believe, in this being the 4th game of the tournament, a total of 8 points. So nothing to hang his head about. Obviously not the result he wants, but nevertheless, very solid strong showing, I should say, and he has a lot to look forward to next season as well.
Sorry about that, John. And Rocco, really, I think tonight has had a very hard-working blue-collar game, so appropriate that he gets rewarded at least in some manner before this contest is over.
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of Chris Kunitz, to be honest. In fact, he kind of looks like him, so I think it definitely fits the style. A guy who doesn't have a ton of size but has a lot of speed and pretty fearless all over the ice.
Hey, if he can camp out in front of that net and get the dirty goals and get deflections, he's a perfect match. 6:20 to go in regulation. And the Highlanders, save for a couple of special teams hiccups, have done just about everything else right here this evening. Brian D ducking around the check. D over the line with Milan trailing. D's side of the net, looking for Alimo out in front. Alimo was too well covered by Mana. Carr couldn't get it outside the area. Milan with it, dropping to Doran for Brian D. D ricochets it to Anthony Alimo, the Baldwin captain. Centering pass from the All-Star to Brian D. His shot blocked. And back the other way comes Carr, but he might be tired. Carr poke check neatly by Winkowski. Winkowski pivots. And the Highlanders clear it with 5.5 to go in the game. Alimo reaching back for that puck, but he is stood up by Nick Rocco. Rocco around another man. Rocco trying to get around the third. He can't as Alimo got back and swiped that puck. Alimo's lead pass now to Brian D. D with a little spinorama, but he's hit from behind. Huskies having trouble with the outlet pass as one of the Highlanders is shoved. No penalty called. Now they're letting boys be boys here late in the game as Logan Conboy has it now for Harbor Creek. Jamie Collins on one hand. Collins out in front, trying to get it between the legs of Matt Yock as one of the Huskies seemed to be shoved after the whistle, but cooler heads this time prevail.
Yeah, I think it's just a little unfortunate because obviously it's a pretty frustrating game as it is for Harbor Creek, but I think Baldwin obviously taking a couple runs as well. I mean, that's not exactly ideal in this situation, and you kind of hope that, you know, this doesn't turn into a brawl or anything.
A timeout taken by the Highlanders with 4:48 to go as Brown tries to settle down his team. From Erie to Wheeling, from Morgantown to Penn State, and all over Pittsburgh, 60 teams will skate for Penguins and Open Cup gold like these two here tonight this season. Now you can score big with the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Hockey League and the golden advertising opportunities the PIHL has to offer. So if you're a decision maker for a business or organization and you would like to see your ad on this program or in any of our partner facilities like the RMU Island Sports Center, call PIHL Commissioner Ed Sam at 412-401-4725 or email pihlcommissioner@gmail.com. Help us grow interscholastic hockey, and we'll help you grow your business. And we've got much more interscholastic hockey next week here on the island on Trib Total Media Hockey Night. The Penguins Cup semifinals Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from the 84 Lumber Arena behind us. I, Matt Popchalk, will be in the house, and I hope the Sports Junkie is in the house at some point, too.
No, I'll probably be there at some point. Yeah, I love doing these games, and also really looking forward to the prospect camp, or the showcase that we're going to be doing in April as well. It's going to be very exciting.
A mecca for college coaches and scouts and what have you, no doubt. And a busy arena is only going to get busier in the next week and month or so as the Huskies jam the net. Yock has it covered, but is it across the line? No. Collins couldn't quite finish the play.
He's been solid. It's the final line of defense, and he's stood up for the most part.
Sometimes in sports, there is no profound explanation. Sometimes you just get beat, and Yock has just been that good when he has had to be. Alimo near side of Brian D. D on the off wing. Had his shot blocked. Has it behind the net though for Baldwin late in this third period. Brian D. behind the net. Anthony Alimo out in front. Nobody there to take the pass, but it's turned over. And here come the Highlanders again. Wraparound try.
D says it's in the net.
It
might
appear to be.
That was off.
The net was dislodged and the puck was sort of resting on the red paint. Remember, it has to completely cross the line or the goal does not stand. Well, in any event, it's going to stay 7-2 Baldwin.
I'm sure Baldwin's not going to put up much of a fight on that one, considering the score and the time.
He wants that hattie bad, though, and you can tell from the way Brian D is skating. He really wants to put his own personal exclamation point on this championship game. He's already played very well for Baldwin to begin with.
I was kind of confused by seeing the hat go on the ice after his second goal. I don't remember him scoring 2 before that, so hope that guy got his hat back.
He did. He did. And Alimo with it now for Baldwin. Trying to outrace the Harbor Creek defense. He can as the puck comes just outside the offensive zone. Carr dangles around Alimo and tries to send it up ahead to Zach Morris. Puck comes near side now as Brian D is shoved by Markowitz. Puck played deep in Harbor Creek territory with just over 3 minutes to go in regulation. The Highlanders counting down to their first ever Open Cup championship against these Harbor Creek Huskies, the champions of the Southwest Conference. And after that, rigorous 50-50 battle. Max Milan comes away with it. Milan centering. And we've got an altercation behind the play as Carr wants a piece of Kenny D, who points to the scoreboard. And he knew that was coming.
Surprised it took so long.
They wanted to let him get it out of their system, I guess. And someone just got an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. I saw the T. And Tyler Carr, his night may be completely done. This might be more than just a 2-minute penalty to the Harbor Creek forward. So, a late UPMC Sports Medicine power play to the Baldwin Highlanders, or is it? No. It will remain 5-on-5 as the penalties were coincidental. Kenny D, the guilty party for Baldwin.
Coincidental runners for unsportsmanlike conduct. Time of the penalties, 14-18.
So it was not a double minor to Carr for unsportsmanlike, but rather coincidental minor to Carr and D. Shot in on Yock, and he handles the fluttering puck with 2:14 to play. Conboy. And the open class scoring champion has really been frustrated individually here tonight.
Yeah, they really haven't given him any room whatsoever to operate. That's been their MO all game, but you know, he just hasn't had any room at all.
Penalty coming up as the Huskies try to get something going off the offensive zone draw, and words being exchanged between one of them and Matt Yock, the Baldwin goaltender. And so it looks like Conboy might get a reprieve here as Cody Becker is the only man headed to the penalty box. A tripping call coming up. So we will see a UPMC Sports Medicine power play, and it will go to the Harbor Creek Huskies.
And that's where the 2 goals have come from. There's a couple of penalties that Baldwin has taken, but all you can do now is, if you're Harbor Creek, you're just trying to score, get a little bit of pride. And obviously, if you're Baldwin, you're just counting it down, getting excited, getting the sparkling wine on tap.
Centering pass. Somebody get a boatload of quarters and fill that open cup with as much soda as you can find. Or as we say in these parts, pop. Yock forcing another offensive zone faceoff for the Huskies. 1:41 to go in the minor to Becker, 1:51 to go in the game. 7-2 Baldwin. Markowitz, point to point for Justin DiDonisio. Hard slapper deflected in on Yock, and he sees it again.
Doesn't matter where it comes from. It all ends up in the same spot. In the glove and ready for another faceoff.
Or in this case, in that stylized letter B. Face-off win for Alaimo, but the Huskies keep it alive. Hard shot, Yock there again.
And for those of you watching at home, you can definitely go back and rewind this so you'll be able to see it, but Logan Conboy had a lot of room in front of him. He could have definitely slowed it down and taken the shot, but his mind has been trained this entire game that he has no more than half a second to get the puck and get rid of it before it's over.
A hard shot from the left side goes wide and is kept just inside the zone by Jamie Collins. Centering pass, side of the net, shot, score! Tick, tack, toe, and that was a sweet goal by Conboy, who does find the twine behind Matt Yock, and a third UPMC Sports Medicine power play goal goes to the Huskies. Just really pretty puck movement there.
Oh, that was beautiful puck movement. Just a great power play. The power play is the only thing that's really worked out well for them. And I was going to say, sorry about that, Matt, but good for Logan Conboy to get on the board here because he's deserved it tonight.
Fifth goal of the postseason, and to finish my abbreviated thought there, it's been a case of being dominated 5-on-5. You play the game 5-on-5, so when you get beat 5-on-5, it's usually not going to end up well. A hard hit there on Dan Gaughan, and officials really trying to keep their finger on the pulse of this game late. 40 seconds left. The Baldwin fans loving it. The Harbor Creek fans quieter than a Russian sports bar at the moment. 22 seconds left. The Huskies have it, and they send it up ahead of Conboy with 14 seconds left. Conboy drops for Rocco. Rocco dangling. Rocco putting it off the side of the net. 8 seconds left. 7 seconds. 6 seconds. And the Huskies have scored. And it is Dan Gaughan with more token offense for the Huskies. And so now it's a 3-goal game.
And it's kind of frustrating. I mean, maybe Baldwin's taking their foot off the gas a little bit, but it's kind of frustrating because they were getting some of these chances early on and they couldn't break Yock, and now, I mean, it's literally just too little too late. I mean, 7-4 will make it look like it was a close score, but it really wasn't. Now we got some champions for Baldwin.
B win, win, win. A win, win, win. L win, win, win. D win, win, win. B-A-L-D wins, wins, wins. A Western Pennsylvania championship for the first time in over a quarter century. The Baldwin Highlanders, for the first time ever, are Open Cup champions as they defeat the Harbor Creek Huskies by a final score of 7-4. And the Highlanders, John Penline, celebrating a championship game that, for the Lions' share of this evening, they made the Huskies play on their terms.
Yeah, absolutely, and they've done that all season. I mean, they lost one game in regulation, they lost one game in overtime, and that's it. I mean, 19 wins, I believe. And the D brothers, Brian and Kenny, and then obviously Matt Yock in this game was tremendous. And I mean, Anthony Alaimo, he's the captain for a reason. He got it started with the goal 47 seconds in, and Baldwin never looked back. An extra loud stick tap as these Baldwin fans get extra loud to
the sports junkie, John Penline. A fine job here tonight as Bob Sebastian calls the players for the trophy presentation. We will be on the ice, and we will bring you that right now. Matt Popchak here from the RMU Island Sports Center as Baldwin wins the Open Cup with a 7-4 victory over Harbor Creek. Thank you, John Rubino. Thank you, Ed Sam. Thank you for watching, but we've got more. Stick around for the medal ceremony, and we will speak to the victorious Baldwin Highlanders.
And now we invite the Baldwin captains to come forward and accept the championship trophy. Baldwin Highlanders 2014 PIHL Open Cup champion.
Raise it in! Raise it up, man! Raise it up, man! Raise it high. Nice! Don't get high. Man, what is number one? Hold on, number one, Bags! Here we go, boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, the PIHL thanks you for attending tonight's game. Please have a safe drive home.
Winning goaltender Matt Yock here for the Open Cup champion Baldwin Highlanders. Is it heavy, Matt? How does it feel?
It feels great. I mean, like, this is the best moment ever.
You individually really picked up on your own game and your own just general consistency in the net during these playoffs. What were the keys?
The keys were just staying focused, that's all I can say.
Your defense played exceptionally well in front of you. What impressed you the most about that group tonight?
The fact that they were reading the plays so well. They always knew where the puck was going.
In what ways has Coach Brown molded this team into what it's become here tonight? What did he bring in that might have been missing?
He brought everything to the table. I mean, he shaped this team. He changed it completely in every way, shape, or form.
Matt Yock winning goaltender for the Baldwin Highlanders, and he celebrates a great performance in net and the Open Cup title, as you can see. Thanks, Matt.
Sure thing.
Kiss the cup.
Baldwin captain Anthony Alimo has had his drink from the Open Cup, and we've had a little bit of it as well, albeit unintentionally, as the Highlanders are champions tonight. Your team has been ablaze offensively throughout the playoffs. What were the keys to the fast start here tonight?
I mean, we got that first goal off that first shift. That was a big help, you know, jumping on them right off the bat. I mean, it kept on coming. We never let up right off the bat, and I think that scared them a little bit.
In what ways have you, looking back, been able to elevate your game in the playoffs?
Well, I mean, as I get older, you know, get a little stronger, I work on them hands a little bit, everything. But I mean, just overall, just getting better, you know, working harder.
7 goals for your team against the best defensive team statistically in the entire classification. Could you have envisioned things going this well?
No, but for my senior year, I couldn't have wished for any more here.
Anthony Alimo, Baldwin Highlanders captain and Open Cup champion. Get some more time with the trophy. Anthony, you've earned it, buddy.
Thank you.
From the Baldwin Highlanders, Brian D., we are reunited and under the banner of an Open Cup championship now. How are you able to get it done tonight?
I mean, we just went out there and executed. I mean, we knew coming in we had a good chance to win it. They were a good team, but I think we showed who the better team was tonight.
How were you able to start fast and build so much success offensively against such a good defensive team?
We just dumped the puck deep and worked low. I mean, we knew we were on a bigger ice surface here, and we watched them last Thursday night before our game, and they looked. I mean, they're not a bad team, but we knew coming in. We thought we were a faster team than they were, and it showed.
What did Coach Brown and the new leadership of the program this year do to make this a championship caliber hockey team?
He did a lot. It was just, our coaches last year, he was a good coach. I mean, Joe Powell, he was a real good coach. He's different not without him. I mean, when we first joined Open Class, it was him, but with Jim here, he really did a good job.
How heavy is that Open Cup?
I'm sure not as heavy as a Stanley Cup, but it's good. Feels good to lift it.
Brian D. with a couple of big goals and a great game again on both ends of the rink tonight for the Highlanders, who shut down the Huskies for the championship. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
The Harbor Creek Huskies came in with a lot of scoring talent, but tonight it was no match for the Baldwin defense. Kenny D, a great game on the back end, and you reap what you sow. The Open Cup is in your hands.
Yes, it is.
How does it feel?
It's for the boys. You know, for the boys. Feels amazing.
How were you able to get the job done here tonight?
We executed. We did our job. We did what our coach told us to. We worked as a team. That's all it takes.
Looking back on the season, in what ways did Coach Brown and the new leadership of this program make this team a better team, a championship caliber team?
It was good coaching all around, but most importantly, he put confidence in us. And every game, he told us we were the beast of the Northeast, and we are the beast of the Northeast, baby. Beast of the Northeast, baby! Woo!
A better note I could not think to finish on. Kenny D, a boisterous celebration. Hey, he deserves it. A great game by both Ds and by the Highlanders here tonight. Thanks, Kenny.
Number one, baby! Woo! Thanks, Matt.
Baldwin head coach Jim Brown can now also call himself an Open Cup champion as his Highlanders defeat the Harbor Creek Huskies here tonight. And Coach, your first year at the helm of this program, you trying to do some things to mold it, to make it a championship caliber hockey club. Having said that, could you have envisioned this going into year one?
When Craig and I took this thing over, we heard a lot of horror stories about this program and whatnot, and we had a mission to change it around, to get some discipline and put out a nice product, that everybody could be proud of, the kids and the parents. At that time, obviously, you shoot for the stars, but we didn't realize that it would come a volition. And but as time progressed, that fourth week, the first and only time we lost, that changed us. That brought us together. We had a belief that from then on, nobody or nothing could beat us except ourselves. And these boys have been on a mission, and this is the 20th game, 20th week. And, and we stayed with the same situation, the same game plans, and did, hockey, we weren't rewriting history here, We just kept going with the same program, and I got a heck of a group of kids, a lot of talent in that room, and I'm just real proud of them. I'm real happy for them. I've won a few things here and there of my 16 years, but this is great for them, especially the two seniors. Good way for them to go out.
And a lot of balance and a lot of confidence that they talked about. They talked about how your coaching, you and your staff, made them more confident. Did it seem like that confidence kind of built and snowballed as the playoffs went on?
It definitely built. I mean, it's a real loose, confident, cohesive group in there, okay? We started out as a unit, became a team, and now they're a family. And that unity, that loyalty of the family scenario is what, has built this whole scenario. So instilling that, which wasn't hard, they bought into it. They had that belief. We knew, at the risk of being cocky, arrogant, and anything else you might want to call us, nobody could skate with us in this league. Nobody could. Nobody could play with us. There's some good teams here. This team was a real good team. But, we have a lot of power. We got a lot of power. And so, we showed it.
And it definitely showed tonight. A very fast start, and it takes a truly special team and a truly special effort to score 7 goals against such a talented defensive club and one of the better goaltenders in the class. What was the game plan for this team going in, and how are you able to kind of bully them offensively almost?
When we found out we were playing on the big rink, we looked at that both ways, as an advantage and as a disadvantage, okay? Dissected both sides of that. And in the end, we figured our team speed, which we knew we had, or we felt we had more of, played to our advantage over there, okay? Because over on that side, our mission was going to use our team speed. We were also going to be very, very physical. They're a young team. They're 2 of their big guns that they rode all year are little kids, okay? We knew they couldn't handle getting thrown around the rink. So, it all worked out. We wanted to get up on top of them, and that's what we did. We came out and used the power that we had. We have goal scorers. My first line, we call it the red line. There ain't no red line in this league. Let's just put it that way.
And finally, just on a personal level, what does it mean to bring a major hockey championship to Baldwin for the first time in a very long time?
Well, it means a lot to me because my coaching partner is Craig Albert. His dad was the coach of this team and played for this team. They're both alumnuses of this team, so they have a vested interest in this, okay? And so I'm happy for them. I'm very happy for the organization, and we look forward to moving up in a class and stuff, and we look forward to that scenario, So we're I can't be happier for the kids. It's all about the kids. That's always the storyline. That's always what the storyline should be, and they got the ending that they wanted. So.
Absolutely, and with some exceptional young players and a couple of exceptional seniors, could be the start of something very, very special for the Baldwin Highlanders, who win their first Open Cup championship tonight under the leadership of head coach Jim Brown. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks,
pleasure.
Guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the publicity for the boys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, we need some towels. The Baldwin Highlanders needed some goals. Guess which one got what they wanted? The Highlanders win the Open Cup here in most impressive fashion over the Southwest Conference champions here on the island tonight. And from all of us at the PIHL Network and for our sponsors, UPMC Sports Medicine and Trib Total Media, I'm Matt Popchuk. Thank you for watching, and we will see you here for the Penguins Cup semifinals.
Trib Total Media is a proud partner of the PIHL. Trib Total Media. Get it right now. Call 1-800-909-TRIB to subscribe or visit us online at triblive.com. This PIHL Network presentation was produced by Rubino Productions, serving the community in ways you haven't imagined.